Welcome, what is up? Thank you for tuning back into the Chaos Lair. Of course, I'm Chris Chaos here with a very delayed Smackdown 411. Now, I do apologize that it wasn't uploaded on Tuesday night. However, life gets in the way sometimes, and for the foreseeable future, just go ahead and expect that the Smackdown 411 will be uploaded on Thursday and not Tuesday after Smackdown, or, by midnight after Smackdown, like I would like to do it. I will be able to do Raw, the Raw 411 that way. Smackdown 401, just kind of keep posted on my Twitter page or subscribe here, and you'll know whenever it's finally uploaded. All right, let's get into it. The Miz and Dena Ambrose started off the show, and the segment kind of fell flat to me. It wasn't their best mic works or whatever. I did like the slap from Maurice to Dino. That sets up for the slap that she gave Renee later on in the night. But, it is what it is. And I'll get to them at the end of my rundown of the show. Corbin beats Ziggler. Ziggler turns heel. He attacks Kalisto after Kalisto comes out to help him. After the what would have been a post-match beatdown by Baron Corbin and a steel chair. I just, I love it. Dolph gets into it with Apollo once he goes to the back. Dolph needed something. He needed a change, and he needed something to invigorate his character. I think this is probably the only thing they could have really done, unless they just repackaged him altogether, which I'm not a fan of. He spent too much time with this gimmick, and you can't just, axe it at this point. I don't know what to think about Carmella and James Ellsworth. It is what it is. It looks like she's playing him, and it looks like that's what Ellsworth is he's gonna be kind of the fool of the WWE going forward. I don't know. Maybe you put him eventually on 205 Live. I don't know. I don't know how good of a worker he actually is. I think that he got signed because he was a good worker. I want to believe that, but the truth is I don't know. And I don't know what their plans are for him going forward. So we'll just have to see how it turns out. Becky Lynch versus La Luchadora. It wasn't designed to be like this phenomenal 5-star match. They did what they were going to do. They pulled the twin magic from the Bella Twins and used it for them. La Luchadora goes up under the ring. Another one comes out, a much shorter version, which I instantly knew, and I hope everybody else did too, because it's the oldest trick in the book, kind of, that it was Alexa Bliss under the hood. And lo and behold, she taps out. She gets the mask pulled off of her. Alexa Bliss. Then La Luchadora, they double team, whatever. The rumor going around is that La Luchadora is Deonna Purrazzo. I don't hate the idea. I'm not like in love with the idea either. I gotta see what's going on. I really still think that it's gonna be Mickie James, because it just makes more sense to me that they would bring her back that way. I can't really explain to you why I get that feeling, but it's just kind of one of those feelings that I have. I've watched this business and participated in this business for a long time. So I know when something, I just know when something's right and when something's wrong. And this time, I can't explain it. You just gotta go with it. If I'm wrong, if it's Deonna, good. I hope they tie it together well, because they're going to have to make it make sense. But you're just going to have to go with me on this one. The contract signing was phenomenal. Pardon the pun. AJ brought out and poking John and poking him, and that fire come out, and that's exactly what we needed for the match. Daniel Bryan was right in what he said, that people wanted to see this match. I want to see this match. I feel like Cena's going to win this match at the Royal Rumble, because they've kind of put it in a position where Cena has to win the match. Or what is he left with? And they're pushing tying the 16-time reign of Ric Flair. So I kind of hope he wins it. I don't really want to see him get a 17 really quick. Maybe, 2 years down the road, maybe he wins it, keeps it to WrestleMania or a little further than that, and then he loses it, and then he doesn't get it back for another little while. I don't know. But I want to see this match. I can't wait till the 29th or the 30th or whenever it is to see this match, because I'm really looking forward to it. Probably the most thing that I'm looking forward to on the Royal Rumble besides the actual Rumble period. Carmella and Aaliyah, James Ellsworth interferes. Aaliyah didn't have a great showing, but this match wasn't for... This match was to get him closer to her. Perfect. It worked. That was, the tone that was set. They executed. You can't really ask for more. The American Alpha versus Breezango ends like that, and it should, to help set up the Wyatts next week. And I love, and I mentioned this on Twitter the other night, how we're seeing Randy Orton destroy the Wyatts from within. And I hope that they make this long build for WrestleMania, and they put Randy and Bray together in a match. It's going to be fantastic. Natty and Nikki did another in-ring segment. I didn't like it. I didn't like the fact that they were in the ring again. I'm ready to see them fight. I'm ready to see them go to war. And they're finally going to do it next week on Smackdown. Now, the Intercontinental title, I didn't speak on it on Twitter. I didn't say anything about it on Twitter because I hate that The Miz lost. I hate that they took the title off of him. Not that The Miz needs it. Miz doesn't need that title. That title needs Miz way more than The Miz needs that title. But what I will say is I don't like how he's going back and forth. I think it hurts him more. I think that if they're going to take the title off of him, which they did, they need to keep it off of him. And that needs to drive him. They need to have a rematch in 2 weeks, I hope. And the reason I say 2 weeks is because I'm going to be in the arena in Memphis, Tennessee with my homeboy J-Ray, and I want to see that rematch. I want to see it live. And I hope that, The Miz, they don't give it back to him and that he goes into the Royal Rumble and wins it. Or has a really good showing, and if somebody from Raw wins the Rumble, that maybe The Miz ends up winning a tournament or the Elimination Chamber, which is probably going to happen, to determine the number one contender, and then we get, The Miz versus John Cena maybe for the WWE title at WrestleMania. I'm just kind of spitfiring. But that doesn't really sound all that bad, to be honest with you. You put The Miz over at WrestleMania again over John Cena, and that gives The Miz more. That just gives him way more. And by the way, for him to win the Royal Rumble, because there's only been like 9 people. This is the 30th anniversary of the Royal Rumble. Only 9 true heels, while they were heels at the time, won the Royal Rumble. So I think that a heel needs to win this year. I think it's right that a heel should win this year. It just kind of feels right. I know Triple H was a heel. He won it last year. But let's do it again. Why not? The Miz on Talking Smack, brilliant. Perfect. If you haven't watched it, go back and watch Talking Smack. The Miz is one of those guys that you could say had the best part of 2016 after the draft. Because after the draft, a lot of guys had a lot of success and a lot of good showings. The Miz has got to be one of the top 3 in my book that had one of the best. Your Owens, your Jericho, and Miz, probably the top 3 having the best look. Of course, you can't really deny AJ Styles either. It's just hard to rank them. It's really hard to rank them. Everybody seems to be having such a great year. End of 2016, beginning of 2017. I just hope they can keep this momentum going into WrestleMania. By the way, 2 names rumored for the Hall of Fame: Diamond Dallas Page and Ravishing Rick Rude. You think about that for a Hall of Fame ceremony in 2017. Deuces. Chaos out.